You are listening to the Slow Living Podcast, and I'm your host, Stephanie O'Day. What if I told you that you could truly have the life of your dreams, the life you've always wanted, one filled with abundance, joy, and a sense of purpose? It's absolutely possible, and I see it each and every day with my coaching clients. It all starts with learning how to slow down. You deserve to live the life you've always dreamt about. Let's get started. We are at episode number 57. And today I want to talk to you about energy and you and protecting your energy and deciding on purpose that you get to be in charge and you get to do the things that make you feel good, that help you feel good. And if you are like me in any which way and classify yourself as a mom first and foremost, as a caregiver first and foremost, sometimes it feels as if you are literally sucked dry of your energy, that you are constantly giving it away over and over and over again to other people, to other things, to priorities that might not even be your priorities, but things that sort of come up. And it's a bit like a game of whack-a-mole that if you are not constantly being aware and paying attention to you and yourself and where your energy is going and where your thoughts are flowing, you can just sort of feel depleted, exhausted, worn out. And if you keep doing that over and over again, and you get in this sort of rut, you can dig yourself in quite a hole and you don't really feel like you know how to get out. And so I want to talk a little bit about that and what we can do, some practical things that we can actually do to get out of the rut and to start feeling like you are cherished and remarkable and wonderful and the most precious being in the world. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So in the last episode, I gave you that quote of, if it is to be, it's up to me. Or if it's meant to be, it's up to me. And we were talking about not waiting to be saved, and that you are in charge and you are responsible for your own life. And you can't wait for Prince Charming to swoop in and save you, or a fairy godmother, or Mr. Belvedere, or someone somewhere to save you. That you are in charge. And I got a lot of fantastic feedback about that. So thank you. Thank you to everyone who takes the time to write to me and to send me messages in Instagram and to reach out to me online. It really means a lot to know that there are real people out there. So thank you for doing that. But I want to talk a little bit about that. So if you're not waiting to be saved, and you do know if it's to be, it's up to you. If it's to be, it's meant, it's up to me. And you really take those words to heart. But the problem is you're worn out and you're already doing so much. And so the idea of doing even more, of making headway on whatever it is your dream is, it's really hard to feel like you can make forward progress if you're exhausted, if you're worn out, and if your energy feels insanely depleted. So I think we've probably all seen the Facebook meme that makes the rounds, and it shows a picture of like a dead or almost dead phone battery. And then the caption is, "You wouldn't let your phone get this low. How are you recharging yourself?" And depending on my mood, sometimes I'm like, yes, that is true. I need to self-care. I need to do these things. And then other times I'm just kind of annoyed because that meme was probably made up by someone who's, I don't know, trying to sell me something, or some man somewhere who thinks he has all of the answers and doesn't understand that a multitasking mom has 47 tabs open in her brain all the time, which is the same reason why my desktop is constantly feeling like it's lagging, because I refuse to close the tabs in my browser window, and I have those tabs in my brain also. But I like them and I enjoy them. And when I am feeling rested and recharged, I absolutely can hop around like a ping pong ball to all of the tabs open in my brain and take care of the things. And it makes me feel good. I feel good. I feel happy. I feel successful when I can help others. And in order for me to do that, I really do need to think of myself as kind of a valuable entity, something that needs to be protected, to be guarded, to be cherished, to be nurtured, to be loved and kept safe and secure and protected. And if you don't feel that way, if you do not feel that you are amazing and wonderful and that you are the nucleus of your household, you are literally the sun, and all of the things that are happening around you are orbiting around you, but you are the center. Because if you think about it, you probably know where the rain boots are. You probably know whether or not there's an extra box of saran wrap in the garage behind the 2-pound box of steel cut oats. You know these things, and no one is going to know all of the things that you do. You're not going to be able to clone yourself. You're not going to be able to quickly know that the black soccer sock with the 3 stripes versus the black soccer sock with the 2 stripes is on top of the dryer. You know these things, and you know that the world, the literal world around you will sort of crumble and fall apart if you are not there. And so that's actually kind of amazing. And that's really important. And you are phenomenal and valuable and something that absolutely needs to be protected and guarded. And so if you are not acting that way, if you are not acting like something important or someone important or someone and something insanely valuable, then no one else, unfortunately, is going to do it for you. And you do have to find a way to feed yourself, nourish yourself, nurture yourself, care for yourself in a way that makes you feel fully recharged and fully refreshed in order for you then to go out and conquer the world, which is what I want you to do. I want you to live out the life you've always dreamt about. It doesn't need to be fast-paced. It doesn't need to be hustly. I don't want you to try and cram more and more into an already overflowing day. I want you to stop and slow down and make a plan. If what you're doing right now isn't working, then let's fix it. Figure it out. What are you eating? How are you sleeping? Who in your circle is sucking the energy and the life out? If you're having a hard time with the kids and you don't get any downtime and you don't get any sort of reprieve, that's something that you need to think about. It's tough. And sometimes it means spending money. And sometimes that means spending money on things you don't want to, but you know deep down inside that you might need to. Or it might mean bartering or trading or joining a gym that happens to have a free childcare. Something. So you know when you're kind of calm and you're centered. And if you actually take the time to roll out that yoga mat and sit in silence for a little bit and meditate, the answers will come. You know what the next step is. You know deep down inside, if you're super tired, it's because you're staying up till 2 a.m. playing Words with Friends or Candy Crush. You know this. And maybe that's not you. Maybe you do think, and you're going to write to me and you're going to tell me, actually, Steph, I'm doing all these things. I'm getting up early. I'm going to bed early. I'm watching my carbs and my sugar. And I know that my insulin isn't in crazy out of whack imbalance. I'm doing all of the things and I'm still super tired and super drained and super bleh about everything. And I just don't know what else to do. So you need to check in with your doctor and you need to get some blood work done and you need to make sure that your potassium is okay, your iron is okay, your electrolytes aren't out of whack. You need to rule out a medical problem. Because if you really, really are truly getting the sleep that you need and nourishing yourself with healthy food that fuels you, then something's out of whack. And that's okay. Because that's a solvable problem. That's a fixable problem. There are people in big, huge, large buildings who went to a whole bunch of schooling and they can help you. And so let them and reach out to them and don't put that on the back burner. Taking care of your medical needs, your dental needs, all of your needs is insanely important because you can't help anyone else if you don't first help yourself. There was an episode on caring for the caregiver that I recorded an awful long time ago, and it was episode number 25. So definitely pay attention to that. And if you're not sleeping the way you think you should, I did an episode on sleep, episode 18. If you think your hormones might be out of whack and you want to hear my thoughts about it and my suggestions on how I healed my hormones and how many of my coaching clients have worked through hormonal issues, that's episode number 17. Another great episode on eating correctly, and we talk about insulin imbalance, is episode number 19, and that's 246 Eat, Intermittent Fasting Simplified. So I wrote a book on intermittent fasting, and in it, I had gone through and sort of dissected all of the science in a way that made sense to me, so then I could explain it to you in a very friendly neighbor next door approach. So 246 Eat. And just realizing that you are the mom and you are the nucleus of the family. You are the sun and everyone else orbits around you. At school, at work, sometimes I need to run through the play yard quickly to find a kid or something like that because their mom's there early to pick up for a dentist appointment. So I'm like weaving in and out of a basketball game or a kickball game. And I kind of put my hands up in the air so the kids can see me. And I say, Mrs. O'Day is here. Don't hurt me. I'm fragile. Don't hurt me. And I run through and the kids stop what they're doing and they protect me. And they don't let the errant basketball or the kickball hit me because I do think of myself as someone who needs to be protected. I can't do all the things that I want to do, that I need to do, that I love doing if I'm hurt. And so think about that for yourself and not like this like fragile being that if someone looks at you in a funny way, you're going to crumble. No, secure. You can be strong and fragile at the same time. You can be strong and still need to be protected and nourished and cared for and loved. Okay, so what are the practical things that you can do starting today to really protect yourself, protect your boundaries, pretend you're this museum piece heirloom and you don't want anything to come into your space that throws you off and kind of sucks away your energy. I want you to really envision yourself as something insanely important. And this doesn't mean that you're conceited. I think a lot of people think, well, I don't want to be selfish and I don't want to be self-centered and I don't want to be conceited and I don't want to think that I'm better than anyone else. And that's not what I'm talking about. I don't want you to think you're better than anyone else. I want you to feel important, to feel cherished, and to feel that from the inside. And thinking that you're better than someone else, that is looking at you from the outside. It's waiting for someone to anoint you as special or anoint you as important. It's asking for gold stars. Did you see what I did? Aren't I important? Aren't I great? Aren't I wonderful? Can you give me a gold star? So those are the people who you see, and we come across them all the time in life, who are constantly telling you how important they are and how wonderful they are and how amazing they are. And they want you to agree with them and tell them they're important and amazing and wonderful. No, we're talking about you and protecting your energy. And that means that the feeling, the validation, the feelings of importancy, is that a word? Comes from within you and has absolutely nothing at all with anyone else or any sort of external validation. You can feel super important scrubbing a toilet, taking a walk in a forest all by yourself with your dog. You can feel it sitting in a Zoom meeting, waiting for your turn to happen. And it doesn't matter what anybody else is saying, because that's you then judging yourself against someone else. And we're hoping that everyone is just sort of in their own little cell where they are the nucleus and everything else is orbiting around them. You need to feel confident and validated and energetic from the inside. And when you have that and you radiate it outwards, already everything that you come across is going to orbit around you in a different way. Other people, other things, other circumstances, other situations are going to sort of change their orbit because you now are radiating this energy, this amazing feeling from the inside. Okay, I get it. You're kind of rolling your eyes at me and like, okay, Steph, but I want actual, like, real, tell me what to do and then I'll do it things. Okay, so it goes to quieting your brain and getting out of whack-a-mole and firefighter mode. And it means literally paying yourself first. And yes, hopefully financially you are already paying yourself first. And every week, every month, money from your paycheck is automatically getting invested in savings. So that's from a financial aspect of paying yourself first. I want you to pay yourself first with energy and with making you feel good. It's all about the feelings. It's really difficult to kind of change your thoughts and change negative aspects and things that you might think about yourself. So some people call them limiting beliefs. And then they're like, well, just chant affirmations all day long. Well, that's not going to help if you don't think or feel that they're correct, or if they don't feel authentic. I did a podcast episode a while ago on matching your identity with your integrity. Let me see if I can find that number. It is, it's one of the earlier ones, 16. Oh, it's interesting. So all of the numbers that I'm telling you to listen to are like 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Those are great episodes. So I would recommend going back. But chanting affirmations, that's why that doesn't feel good in your body, because you're not going to believe that you're amazing and you're wonderful and you're worthy if you are exhausted and you're not feeling that. So I do want you, though, to find a way to quiet your brain as much as you can and feel good. So what do? I roll out my yoga mat in the dark in the morning. I go plug in the 4-cup Mr. Coffee. I gather my journal. I gather my daily worksheet. I put it on the yoga mat. Sometimes I turn on the heater. Sometimes I put on an extra sweater or a pair of socks because it's chilly in the morning. If I'm really feeling spunky and I really want to do it, and I got to tell you, it makes all the difference in the world, I light a few candles, and we are not talking fancy candles. I am A-okay with Glade candles and the Trader Joe's candles in the can, so you don't feel like you have to save them in any way because they're $3, and it's A-okay to burn a candle every day for yourself and make yourself feel good. And then I get my cup of coffee, and I go and I sit in the middle of the yoga mat, and I have no intention whatsoever except to do the things that feel good. So usually for me, I don't start journaling right away. I have it ready to go with a few colored pens ready to go. And my journal of choice is my own my own journal that is on Amazon and linked on my site. So it's the 30 Days to a New You. And I have a new one for every month. And when I say every month, I probably mean, 6 weeks or 8 weeks. So I buy my own journal, 10 of them for the calendar year. And if it takes me 40 days to get through 30 days, that is okay. And that is okay for you. So cut yourself some grace there. Progress, not perfection. So I have that. And then I also have my daily worksheet that I've talked to you about. Many of you have emailed me. Many of you have joined the Slow Down Society Facebook group. The worksheet is linked in the Facebook group. And if you email me, I'm happy to send you a copy. But many of you feel shy and you don't want to do that. So I'll put an opt-in on my site. So by the time this recording comes out, I will have done that. And that's at stephanieodea.com/daily, DAILY. And so in there, I will link my daily journaling worksheet. I'll put the information for the 30 Days to a New You. And I'll also put in it a link to a PDF where you can map out your day. You can plan out your day. And for me, that's 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. So I always joke that moms don't work 9 to 5. Moms work 5 to 9. So I'll put that in there for you too. So that's stephanieodea.com/daily. You can get all of that information. And I'm telling you this because this is what works for me. But again, you are you. So I'm telling you this so you can try it for 30 days and then decide if it works for you or what needs to tweak. So I'm sitting here on my yoga mat with no intention. I'm just sitting. If I feel like stretching, I do. I have tight hips, so I like to do a lot of hip stretches. I like to do a lot of cat and cow to warm up my back. I am not following any sort of routine right now because I've done enough yoga that I just sort of do what feels good. And while I'm stretching and while I'm moving, thoughts bubble up. And sometimes I feel inspired when I'm in the middle of a stretchy pose to open the journal and start writing and start filling in the slots. So for both of these, for the 30 Days to a New You and in the daily worksheet, it's not just empty lines. It's slots to fill in. How are you feeling? How do you want to feel? And how do you want to feel is how you're going to set yourself up and start then thinking and doing the things that are to match the feeling you're trying to have. So talk to me about your time management. How do you want to feel today? Do you want to feel in control of your time management? Do you want to feel confident? How do you want to feel about your health? Do you want to feel good in your body, good in your skin, proud of yourself when you look in the mirror? Okay, those are great ideas and feelings to have. Now, how are we going to work backwards from there? How are you going to plan out your day? How are you going to schedule out your food? How much water are you going to drink? What are the action steps that you need to take in order to feel the way you want to feel? So let's put a pin in that. Why do we do this in the morning? Why am I doing this in a quiet house? And it's just me and my coffee. And because I'm frugal, it is Folgers Drip, which I absolutely love, and it is A-okay. Why? It's because no one has stepped into my bubble yet. No news, no social media, no email, no anything has come into my bubble. Some people call it a vortex. And so I am protecting myself and paying myself first, charging my battery first before it's drained by other things, people, circumstance, events, society at large, the news, politics, all of that stuff really happens. And unless you're living off the grid, in some sort of little house on the prairie bunker, you know you're going to have to be in traffic today. At some point, even if you try your hardest not to watch the news, somebody is going to talk to you about how the stock market is going down and we've got a recession looming, and someone's going to tell you that their sister-in-law is in hospice, and someone is going to tell you how the boiler in their house exploded and now they've got a broken pipe flooding their basement. And all of those things you can't really disappear from. You can't really declutter your life from that kind of stuff. That's what life is. That's what humans do. Humans connect. Humans want to talk and share. And yes, you can be introverted and call yourself that, but you still need to interact with others. And so this is how you protect your energy. This is how you pay yourself first, is by deciding you are in charge, and what you can do is in the morning, take care of yourself, nourish yourself, cherish yourself, protect yourself. Okay? All right. As always, reach out to me. Let me know if you have any questions, because I am here for you. And I love all of the coaching that I've been doing lately and helping people kind of figure it out. Together, we go through the Simple Shortcuts of Peace program and we talk about the peace pyramid. And I do and really stand by the fact that the Simple Shortcuts to Peace program is the best bang for your buck, because it's not just focusing on one tiny little area. It's focusing on all of you, the whole being, because you can't feel calm. You can't feel collected. You can't feel at peace, even with an organized linen closet, if you know deep down inside that your marriage isn't working, that you're feuding with your best friend, that you're constantly missing deadlines at work. So it's so funny to me that some people reach out to me and they think that only if they can get dinner at the table every night, if they master the crock pot, that everything else will feel better. Or if their spice cabinet is fully alphabetized and organized and they have a binder where they list out all of the expiration dates, that somehow they will feel better and calmer and more content and feel like an organized person. But the organization, the feeling of being all together and organized, it comes from the inside out. You need to really know that you are worthy and that you bring value to the world and that you deserve to have all of the things, all of the time. And it doesn't mean that you're greedy, and it doesn't mean that you think you're better than anyone else, but it's not fun to be chasing some arbitrary something and let the rest of your life kind of crumble apart. I want all of you working together in a cohesive manner. And that's what the Simple Shortcuts to Peace course is all about. And because you're different than me, and I'm different than my neighbor down the street, it comes with personalized one-on-one coaching, because I know you may read something completely different than somebody else. And that's because we all have different brains, and we all have different backstories, and we all have different programming that happened in childhood and in school and through our societal upbringing. And that's what makes the world so neat. And that's what makes having a coach go through all of the components with you and figure it out and answer your what ifs and how come this is happening. And I don't know if you're right about this because blah, 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 blah has happened in my past and I need to talk about it and unpack it. Having the two together is so vital, and it absolutely is insanely economical for all that you get. And so please join at any time. That's stephanieodea.com/peace, PEACE. Again, if you've got any questions, reach out to me. If you want to know what mindset coaching is all about, I have free one-on-one calls. We limit them to about 30 minutes, and you can sign up and add yourself to my calendar at stephanieodea.com/mindset. Or just email me. If you don't like the times available, those are times that work for me. But if they don't work for you, tell me and we will work something out. Okay. You need to be protected. You are wonderful. You are amazing. You are worthy right now, right this very second. Not someday. Not when the kids move out. Not when you retire, not when a certain number is reached on the scale or a certain number hits your bank account. Right now, right this very, very, very second, you deserve to feel protected and cherished. And you need to find a way to carve out that time and that space for yourself. Give yourself a great, big, huge hug. I think you are absolutely amazing. And I will talk to you next time. Do you have a slow living story to share? Leave me a voicemail at stephanieodea.com/podcast with any questions, comments, feedback, or testimonials, and I will be sure to include it in an upcoming episode. Also, if you found value in this episode, please share it with your family and friends and subscribe through your favorite podcast provider. The more you share, comment, and leave positive reviews, the more people we can reach and share the slow living lifestyle and messaging. Thank you, Slow Down Society, and have an absolutely wonderful day.